What up? It's your boy Master Miranda here with your next video. I hope you're excited just as much as I am. And so in the past, kids have asked me for a project, Miss Miranda, how do I measure the height of something? Well, today we're going to use trigonometry to measure the height of this tower. So in trigonometry, there's three basic functions: sine, cosine, and tangent. But first, let's get some measurements. Now that we have our measurements, let me teach you a few things about the three basic trig functions.
So each acute angle of a right triangle has the following trigonometric ratios. So the first one we'll look at is sine. So sine is equal to the opposite leg over the hypotenuse. So if we wanted to find sine of angle A, the opposite leg is across, which is 5, and the hypotenuse is 13. And so sine A is equal to 5 over 13. If we wanted to find sine of angle B, this time we go across from angle B, which is 12, and the hypotenuse is still 13. And so sine B is equal to 12 over 13. The next trigonometric ratio is cosine. And so cosine is equal to the adjacent leg, or the leg next to the angle, over the hypotenuse. And so here, if we want to find cosine of angle A, the side next to A, or the adjacent leg, is 12. Hypotenuse is still 13. And so cosine A is equal to 12 over 13. We can do the same thing to find cosine of angle B. This time the adjacent leg is 5. And so we get 5 over 13. The last trig ratio is tangent. Tangent is equal to the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. So in this case, tangent of angle A is equal to 5 over the adjacent leg, 12. Tangent of angle B would be equal to the opposite, which is 12, over the adjacent, which is 5. And so 12 over 5. So these are the three trig ratios. And something that can help you is Sohcahtoa. The acronym stands for sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. And so if you can remember Sohcahtoa, you can remember the three trig ratios. So back to the original problem. What is the height of the tower? Quick note, using a picture is going to give us an approximate height. It's not going to give us an actual value. However, right, we just want to get close in this case. And so if you notice, I measured out 12 feet from the base of the tower. We want to figure out what its height is. I took some measurements and I found the angle from my feet to the top of the tower to be 56.5 degrees. And so we're going to use that angle and trig to figure out the height. So if you notice, we know the adjacent side to the angle. We want to find out what the opposite side is. And so, right, if you think about Sohcahtoa, that means that we are going to use tangent. And so tangent of our angle, which is 56.5, is equal to opposite over adjacent, or in this case, x over 12. Now that tangent of 56.5, it is some decimal. It is a number. And so if you plug that into your calculator, you'll get approximately 1.5108. Now to figure out the height, we just need to solve for x. So I need to multiply tangent of 56.5, or in this case 1.5108, by 12. And we would see that we get that x is approximately 18.1. And so the height of the tower is about 18 feet.
So before I go, I want to give a big shout out to Chris Ellis for the new intro. All right. Other than that, if you remember anything from this video, it's Sohcahtoa, right? Sohcahtoa is the biggest thing I want you to remember about trigonometry. That's it. See ya.